Good morning. What's up, Catherine? What's up, CDP? I hope you all are doing well. What's up, Room Shaker? Well, we got a few things to talk about. What's up, Max Boogie? How are you doing? Behold the green and gold. I'm wearing my school colors today. They're having a special thing where you can wear your college colors because the Super Bowl is coming up. So that's what I'm doing. So I hope y'all are doing well. I heard there's a lot going on in these YouTube streets. Let me start off by saying that what I do here is a show. I do not plan to physically meet people and get physical and violent with people. Um, this is a show. I don't know you personally. This is for entertainment and entertainment purposes only. And so that's what I want to start off with. Because I think sometimes people forget about that. This is the show. That's number one. Now, this is for Jay Dunn again. Girl, how limited it is on these YouTube B sector streets. Yes, even you are being viewed at this particular point. It is so scant that, yes, even someone like me will watch what you got to say. But you still can't click on my link. And you still are not welcome on my platform. I don't know how hard that could be. So, I watch Jay Dunn, but you ain't clicking on my platform. Just that simple. So, my name is the name that pays. Some of these girls, I'm telling you. Anyway. um, so, I had a chance to look at some of her commentary. And she talked about Brianna and Pizarro and Lady League. People got to do what they got to do, I guess. I guess people got to do what they got to do. If they feel like they need to move on and go to other pastures, I would do it. I'm not going to leave unless I want to leave, not because somebody's page got struck or how people feel about me, and that's foolish. You're doing a show. Do your show. It's just that simple. Do your show. And when it's time to log on. But don't leave because somebody is forcing you to leave. If you leave, make sure you leave because you want to, and not because somebody's making you. Yeah. So I'm hearing that Cesaro talking about doing conspiracy theories, and Nika talking about doing true crime. That's what they saying. Okay. Child, when that money ain't hit like it used to hit, they'll be back. They may not be, but we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Toya? What's up, Miss Vegas? What's up, just trying to figure it out? I'm just trying to figure it out, too. So, then, I guess Goofy is trying to make something big. Y'all know Goofy is a crap starter. And you know, he was probably a little ticked off because he couldn't do on my channel what he does on Lemon's channel. So yeah, let me say something real quick. Hold on for a minute. Okay, call the police, ho. Call the police. Sir Matt, go call them. Call them. San Antonio police. Give them a call. Give them a ring. Tell them I read some text messages. Tell them I read them. Tell them that Jay sent you. How they used to say, tell them that Esther sent you. Get ready to come on to that. So now I guess I'm supposed to be scared because people are going to be flagging and take down my page. Maybe they've been trying to take down my page. Baby, if the homophobes ain't trying to take it down, maybe it's the sensitive spirit people trying to take it down. Maybe they've been trying to take down my page for years. So it is what it is, and God bless everybody. I'm in such a good space right now. It's just like, okay, do what you can do, whatever. You can say whatever. I'm so high. That's how I'm feeling right now. That's how I'm feeling right now. Um, I may. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. So, all I'm going to say is I'm undecided right now. That's all I can say. I'm undecided right now. But I'm not going anywhere. But I'm decided right now. So anyway, but just enjoy what we have today. Touch me in the morning. Then just walk away. We don't have tomorrow, but we had yesterday. Hey, wasn't it me who said that nothing good's gonna last forever? And wasn't it me who said, let's just be glad for the time together? It must have been hard to tell you that you're giving all you had to give. I can understand your feelings that way. Everybody's got their life to live. Well, I can't say goodbye in a warm morning light. But I can't watch love die in the warm of the night. If I got to be strong, don't you know I have a night? Come on now. Touch me in the morning. Wasn't it me who said that nothing good's gonna last forever? Then just walk away. Okay, baby. Touch me in the morning. Huh? And then just walk away. Behold the green and the gold. Ooh, touch me in the morning. So anyway, though, I'm not leaving yet, baby. Y'all act like I'm leaving, but we gotta see. First of all, I gotta get it. Now I'm in the running for it, but that don't mean I have it. But we believe in God, and we'll see what happens. But either way, it is well with my soul. Now, I heard a lot of people are mad, people are angry and upset. And all I'm going to say is the Bible said, be angry, but sin not. Be angry, but sin not. So please don't sin. Hey, Miss Vegas, how y'all doing? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. It's so much going on in the beach center, but nothing going on. So I'm here in Sour Patch screaming all at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I drank this, and I had to get up and pee. Baby, Sour Patch is going off on Lemon. Lemon can't catch no break. Lemon can't, nobody can catch no break. Okay? Lemon can't catch no break. So now you got Sour Patch all up on them. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in these YouTube streets. And now they said everybody got a little search for Big Man. Everybody searching for Big Man. Big Man, is you okay? They said that nobody ain't seen Big Man. Is Big Man all right? Anybody seen Big Man? Has Big Man showed up in somebody chat? They said Big Man is gone MIA. Mm-mm-mm. I hope everything okay with Big Man. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting ready to go get some gas. Let me read these comments. I'm gonna go get some gas. Now look, I am leaving for a minute. I am going to get some gas. Okay, I am going to get some gas. I will be back. I am going to get some gas. I'm just letting y'all know because y'all be losing sleep when I ain't up here. So ushers, tell the people thank you very much that I'm going down yonder at the gas station. I spoke to him. I spoke to him. Just pray for him. Oh, so you spoke to him? He's going through something. Okay. So Big Man is alive. Seems like Big Man is going through some challenges. Keep him in prayer, according to Max Boogie. Thank you, Max, for letting you know that. I clicked on Tommy and he was snorting like a bull. Y'all Jesus touched Tommy. Y'all, let me go get my food. I'll be right back. Going to get some gas too. I'll be back.
Okay, let me see what y'all saying in here. I'm back while my gas is being pumped. Okay. Yo, good times anytime you need a payment. Anytime you need a friend. Anytime you're going under. Keeping your head above water. Making the way that you can. Temporary layoff. Good time. Easy crave to rip off. Scratching and surviving. Hanging in the child line. Good time. Ain't we lucky we got 'em? Good time. I'm gonna do the Jeffersons. We're moving on up. Come on now. This egg bowl is good. Huh. Woo. My God, today. So anyway, now I heard that Brian is striking everybody paid. And Goosey said mine is the next. My God, today, Goosey. Pray for me. Pray for me how to touch. Joe, they taking pages, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your page. Blind and snatching pages. Baby, they snatching them up. They snatching them up. And people leaving. Baby, the beef set they're gonna be empty. Baby, y'all is giving me abandoned mall. Okay, with just the dealers in it. Okay. Okay, Macy's done closed. Okay, the Sears done closed. JCPenney's hanging on by a thread. Baby, beef set is giving me abandoned Maltese. Okay. Okay, for the abandoned mall team. Okay. Girl, the barbershops is moving in. Girl, we got the barbershop, the 2.0s of the barbershops, girl, and some churches. Baby, you know your mall is dead when you have more barbershops and shoe stores and then a church move in, baby. Okay. All these abandoned stores. My God, today. Ryan don't have nothing else better to do. Oh, he getting his degree. Girl, he getting his degree. I ain't mad at him. But y'all, can I say this? I'm not really moved. I'm just keeping I'm keeping my hand in the wine and chain, as the old people say. I'm leaning independent on Jesus. That's all. And if my channel is meant to be, it'll be here. If it ain't, it'll be gone. I'm just saying. You know, I don't know what's going on with people. I can't really put my finger on what people be thinking when they doing this kind of stuff. How do they really feel? Brianna must have really hurt him. Because I do think the measures are draconian, but he has his reasons for doing it. And it is what it is. But baby, y'all got y'all sector looking like an old nasty piece of abandoned mall, honey, with only J.C. Penney's and the dealers left. Y'all used to have Nordstrom's, Macy's, okay? And then y'all used to have a Hex department store. And all the store, only two left. Okay? And Forever 21 done closed. Baby, y'all looking like an abandoned mall up in here. Okay? So while y'all striking everything and taking everybody out, you're killing your own sector. You know what I'm saying? And nobody ain't gonna be running to you. They'll find a new sector. Hello, somebody. I don't know why these girls think taking people out gonna draw everybody to them. No, no. People would rather leave because some people really don't like y'all. I'm just saying they don't like me either, but darn it, you gotta have variety. Okay? Y'all keeping abandoned Maltese up in here. Mm. Baby, this coffee is wonderful. But so I don't know what Brian is doing. I don't know if Brian is striking people. Now Brian said he struck Brianna. Now I think Brian tried to strike Ness. Ness said try again. So I don't know what he's doing, but that's what he said. Then somebody done played Ness is crying over Nicole Tyler when Nicole took her wrench. Baby, that was a blast from the past. I seen Nicole Tyler. I turned her off, baby. She's talking about she ain't voting. Ho, you need to vote, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm telling you, it's the people. Y'all don't listen to these people. Some of these people crazy as cat pee. Diva Tomboys had Nicole Tyler when she was doing the car thing, and sure enough, it was Ness. Ness was very hurt by that wrench. Ness was very hurt by that wrench. Let's say, you know, you're one of my favorites, and girl, I was hollering. Come on, it's just the range. I'm like, Sugar Lump, it's just the range. Lord Jesus. But, baby, these girls don't have no sense. They are batshit crazy. I hate to say it, batshit crazy. I don't know if it was the addictions. I don't know if it was the trauma. But, baby, these girls is not well. And they need to go back and sit back on the couch. Mm, well, like I said, I don't know what's going on in her life. I don't go over there. She don't come over. Well, she do come over here. Okay, she be coming over here. But I don't go over there. I don't care. I mean, it is what it is, baby. And then this lemon thing, everybody piling up on lemon. But again, y'all love them. And let me say this. I don't have a problem with lemon. But when you start telling people you the king of this, and everybody is trash to you, and you treat people like dirt, and you cussing folk out, and baby, people get tired of that. Stephanie said I was blocked by uh, trends, so I don't go over there. What? Okay. Let me tell you something. How that song said, I ain't missing you at all since you've been gone away. I ain't missing you at all. Okay, that was a 1980s song. And that's what I feel. I ain't missing you at all. And that rock hard titty hoe tried to come back up here. That Queen Tesla. I said, no, ma'am. Because people think that, it's a new season. I don't got time for y'all. Ho, you don't see it for me. I don't see it for you. We moving right along. Okay? Now, what's that girl name? Jelly Roll? Look, Jelly Roll, aka J Dunn. Girl, I watch you. You just can't click over my link. That's it. I just don't want you in my presence because you's a nasty somebody. And you don't have no emotional intelligence either. So I just don't deal with it. Baby, no, no, no. Now, when you take your medication and I guess when that machine hit it right, you know how to act. And your show's been pretty decent. I'm gonna give you that. It's been pretty decent, but not decent enough to make me want to put you on my platform. Absolutely not. Because you crazy as cat P too. As soon as you get a whiff of opportunity, here you go cutting up. Hell no. Mm. Stephanie, people play too much. And can I say this? Baby, whatever I bring to this table, whatever commentary or content I bring, it is what it is. If I need a panel, if I don't need a panel, whatever. I do what I do. I do. I do what I do. But ain't nobody missing y'all. Y'all got issues and stuff. And then I heard Pizarro say last night, Pizarro said, ain't a hoe gonna tell me how to talk to my child, and they don't even have theirs. He said, girl, you don't even have your son. Child, I just cut it off right then and there because I knew where it was going. Pizarro said her children almost grown. But I thought it was set up by High Goosey. And like I said, hey, I don't tell parents how to raise their children. If y'all feel that, this, it is what it is. I don't get into it. There are certain ways that I would maybe talk to people, but some people talk to people like they want to talk to people, and that's it. I am not endorsing it. I'm not condoning it, but I ain't nobody. Look, I don't have no children. I just got a dog, and I keep it moving. Yeah, let me tell you something. Some things I wouldn't do, but it is what it is. Well, you're right about that, Stephen. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and now you have the facts of life. The facts of life. When the world never cease to believe up to your dreams, and then you find out that the facts of life was all about you. It takes a lot to get it right when you're learning the facts of life. Oh, the facts of life. Woo, the facts of life. Woo, come on now. Y'all heard that? Uh, that mean that felt good. Okay? It takes a lot to get it right. Mm. Ooh, that coffee is a blessing to my spirit. Anyway, y'all. Stephen. Stephen, you better not get Brian angry. He'll get your page too. Can I say this? Now, you know I was throwing shade at Brian when I said, okay, Goose is up here. Okay, so Brian, we got somebody more interested. I was throwing shade. I was throwing shade, and I knew y'all was gonna catch it. And it was coming. I felt that was kind of rude. I felt that it was my show. I felt it was like Joan Rivers doing her fashion. I felt that. But let me tell you who's a bad bee. Let me tell you who I watched and I was rolling. Baby, Miss Piggy do not be playing with the girls. Okay? Y'all, I watched Miss Piggy Shadiest moment, and Joan Rivers said, do you live in a house of straw, stone, or brick? And Miss Piggy said, baby, she said it's time to get out of elementary books. She said it's time to increase your book knowledge. Baby, when I tell you Miss Piggy read down, Miss Piggy, she read Joan Rivers for Phil. She read Martha Stewart for Phil. Baby, Miss Piggy has to be a gay man. Because baby, the way she read, okay, the way Miss Piggy read, Miss Piggy didn't play with the girls. Miss Piggy was not playing with the girls. Miss Piggy was reading them hoes. Just like Madam. Now you know that man was gay who did Madam. Rest his soul, he ain't here no more. But baby, Madam was baby, she would read the girls down. Now Madam used to go after B. Arthur. Ooh, she used to go after B. Arthur on the Madam shows. Madam used to go after that B. Arthur. But baby, Miss Piggy and Joan Rivers, Miss Piggy and Martha Stewart, baby, Miss Piggy would read the girls down. I ain't lying. I sat there and watched the whole of Miss Piggy's shadiest moments. And Miss Piggy was shady. Miss Piggy was very shady. And let me tell you something, baby, she was real shady. Oh my God. Did you see that Pretty Purple Rain? And Miss Piggy would read the girls. Joan Rivers was beast. And so, again, and let me tell you something. Joan Rivers didn't give a damn if you liked her or not. Joan Rivers, know she had facelifts and stuff. You just gotta love Joan Rivers. Oh my God! But Miss Joan Rivers and Miss Piggy, baby, Miss Piggy, I know that Muppet, that man is gay. Who played that Muppet? Yeah, Beyonce had her own show. She used to feature Rock Hudson and Melba Moore. Yeah, she had a good show. Baby, no, I mean Patti LaBelle was on Baby, her titties was very big on that Sesame Street when she was doing the ABC song. But baby, Patti did take you to church. Patti LaBelle did take you to church on that Sesame Street. Her titties was out there, but she sure did take you to church for that Sesame Street. Let me tell you who else read the girls down, baby. That uh Kiki Mapisha. Baby Kiki Mapisha, A, A, B, B, D, C, E, F, G, D, E, F, G, E, F, G, H, H. Ah! Come on. She said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Baby! And somebody called the Holy Ghost. I think it might have been Janice, but baby, they were playing them tambourine. Ah, baby, Muppet Show used to be everything. Um, but that Kiki Mapisha, baby, when I say she read Cherry the Bomb down, that Kiki Mapisha ain't nothing to play with either. Oh, that Kiki Mapisha, woo, that Kiki Mapisha ain't nothing to play with. Baby, they started dancing. And Patty hit that high note. She said, oh, she said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, H, I, I. Baby, Patty took the girls to church saying their ABCs. Okay, I ain't gonna ever forget that. Oh my God, I'm gonna go look at that. I'm gonna go look at that today. Mm. Baby, Patty in Sesame Street. Patty sang the ABCs. Baby, let me tell you something. Patty was not playing with the girls. She said, "You better play this keyboard right." Baby, they did the gospel ABCs. I was like, Lord have mercy, and they was catching the Holy Ghost. That's what got me. Okay, on the Muppets. But anyway, and understandable, y'all. The administration wants to take that away. How many of us grew up with Schoolhouse Rock? That's what's happening. I can say, what is it? I can tell you to go get it. Verb, you're so demanding. Verb, you're so commanding. It's going, it's going, it's going. Verb to be, verb to love. Baby, Donny Hathaway sung the hell out of Verb. That's what's happening. Okay, y'all ain't know? So I unpack my adjective. You can describe it with adjectives. We stumbled into a bear. It was a hairy bear. It was a scary bear. Come on. Boys get taller. Wait, girls get taller. And boys get smaller. So one is the smallest and one is the tallest of all. Come on. Because I unpack with adjectives. You can describe it with adjectives. Come on now. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Come on. So when you're happy, yay, or sad, or frightened, yeeks, or glad, come on. Exclamation, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Lottie, lolly, lolly, get your adverbs here. Come on, y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know about that. In any place that you can go, in any place that you can show, you know that nouns. A noun's a special kind of word. It's any name you ever heard of. Kind of interesting. A noun's a person, place, or thing. Oh, I put a dime in the red gold, just go record machine. Okay, y'all don't know nothing about that. A man and a woman have a little baby. That makes three. They a family. That's the magic number. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know about that. I'm just a bill, and I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Come on. Oh, I hope and I pray that you will, but you dare, I am still just a bill. Ah, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for that Schoolhouse Rock. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. Women's suffrage and revolution, baby. So anyway, y'all, I'm saying all of that, but Miss Piggy did read the girls down. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But let me say this, y'all. See, this is what we do over here. We can go to beef sector stuff, to old nostalgic stuff, because we ain't stuck over here. We ain't stuck over here. It is Black History Month. It is Black History Month. And we need to know that we have contributed a great deal to this country. And let me say this as well. We are still older than, and I don't care what nobody say. If it wasn't for the manual labor of the slaves, America would not be where she is today. It was those plantations that brought the raw materials to the factories and the manufacturing factories up north to stimulate the United States economy. Period. If it weren't for slaves, Harvard, Yale, Georgetown University, Sweetbriar College in Virginia, they wouldn't even be in existence. If it weren't for the slaves, Wells Fargo and Bank of America wouldn't even be in existence. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to y'all? People profited off of our work. People profited off of us because we were sold as a commodity. That's why I can't stand people selling their ass for some change. Because you've already gone through that. Oh, Jesus. I know somebody mad. I know the devil is mad right now. I know the devil is mad right now. And when you allow your circumstances to make you vulnerable and susceptible to trafficking and all of that stuff, you right back into slavery. The house is always stacked against you. I'm just saying. Let me tell you what is a miracle to me. When I get at the QT a person who can pass the drug test and don't have any convictions. Because, baby, the sky is the limit when you don't have convictions and when you can pass a P test. I know that sounds weird, but I think the drugs is a good weeding mechanism to keep people out of good paying jobs. I really do. I think going to jail is an excuse for people not to hire you. And let me say this too. You done served, you done did your time. You shouldn't have to go and be punished again. But in America, nope, nope, nope. Depending on what that felony is, you will never get a good paying job unless you become your own boss. Unless that company is very liberal and they're about second chances. Now, I know what I want to talk about. I know what I want to talk about. Hold on now. So the big story out there was about Morris Brown's president, Dr. James. Now, Dr. James was let go from Morris Brown. Okay? And they really didn't give a reason why they let him go. And Dr. James rather, came on to plead his case, social media. Now, I want y'all to catch this because all I can say is the pendulum swings both ways. And I still think the board was crappy. And I think they need to get a new board because their board is incompetent. Because what happened, he should have been fired a long time ago. But I'm going to leave that alone. So they got rid of Dr. James. only to have to bring him back again. Okay? Now, a lot of people were saying that he didn't follow the rules, that he was rude, that he only smiled in people's faces for the cameras, but off the cameras, he was totally different. So the reasons why seem very petty to me, but you know that it's deeper meanings behind it.
To find out that during an interview that this man was interviewing a female and he asked her, I don't know how this came up. I don't know how this came up. But he said, do you think you can handle this dick? Baby, I don't know how that come up in the interview. I don't know if that was part of the job description. Baby, I don't know. Now, I don't know if the lady was hired or not. But baby, it was given a lot of quid pro quo. And I think she was going to be an assistant to the president. Mm-hmm. And and it was a recording that came out. Now it was 7 years ago, but I think it's going to be enough to get him out of it. Because, yeah, I think it's going to be enough to get him out of there. Can you handle this, D? So that's going to be very interesting. And let me tell you why it's so sad. Let me tell you why it's so sad, y'all. Because Morris Brown is fighting. First of all, let me say this, and this is what makes it so difficult. This man brought Morris Brown from the big club. I am so sorry, you all. I'm gonna tell you what. There is a lot of construction, and it seems like when I pass a construction area, that the internet gets a little janky, a little wonky. But as I was saying, you all, um, so Morris Brown right now has TRACS accreditation, and TRACS is a low tier religious um, accreditation. You have ATS, which is the highest you can get. Then you have, I think, ABHE, and then you have TRACS. TRACS is recognized by the Department of Education, and that was controversy when they even got that. Track schools, for the most part, they're not the best, but it helped Morris Brown to be able to get federal financial aid, which the school needs to pay its bills. It's almost like hospitals and Medicaid. You know what I'm saying? Without Medicaid, a lot of these hospitals close. Without financial aid and federal financial aid, a lot of these schools close. So that's where Morris Brown is right now. So for the mere fact that James was able to do that, that was good. But they really need to get SACS accreditation, which is the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. That's where they got kicked out. That's the regional accreditor that they need. Because a lot of universities don't have to accept national credits. Regional credits, yes. And a lot of people get mixed up with regional and national. Some people think, oh, national, that means it's good. No, national means that when you think about national accreditation, you're thinking about, I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm getting ready to get this degree and go straight to work. I'm not thinking about transferring to any other school or anything. I'm going straight to work. A lot of nursing schools are nationally accredited because their accreditors work both with regional and national schools. Because you got programmatic accreditors, and programmatic accreditors accredit specific programs. So, like nursing has a specific accreditor. The schools of business have specific accreditors. I went to a school that was accredited by the National Association of Schools of Music. So there are programmatic accreditors. That means they accredit a program. So you want to make sure that if you go to school for social work, that your school is accredited or affiliated with that organization that endorses your university. So that's how a lot of people get away with it. But then when people want to go to nursing school and maybe get a BSN or MSN, they can't go to a Florida State. So what they'll have to do is go to Strayer or a school that is for profit and get their nursing degree. Now, what it does is limit your options. Strayer is smart. They're smart. They're smart. They're like, okay, we'll take that because they know that they're the only other option because a lot of the brick and mortar state and some private schools that are not for profit are not going to take those credits. They don't have to. And it's about maintaining the integrity of their programs, or they feel that these students are not prepared. So Strayer and some schools like that, maybe Walden or Capella, they're willing to take that risk because they know that they're going to make money off those students. So Morris Brown is accredited by TRACS, which is transnational something, but not SACS, which is Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. So to say all of that, Dr. James, you let your desires get in the way of really running your school. And this is why I'm surprised. So Dr. James came out of Strayer University. He was a campus dean like myself, and his campus was in Georgia. And we know that people got fired because of indiscretion. When you are a dean, when you are a professor, you can't have relations with students. You can't, it's very dicey. And for the mere fact that you were willing to hire somebody who you said that you think you can handle this that's crazy work. And baby, sex will always be the downfall of some of these men. When I was working at Delta, now an older black woman pulled me aside. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link after this. I'm gonna drop the link right after this. She said, "Baby, don't mess with their money and don't mess with their white women." I was like, "What? You don't have to worry about the white women. First of all, you don't have to worry about no women." But I'm just like, "What?" But I have seen so many people walked out of Delta because of that. I've seen a lot of people walked out of Strayer because of that. Baby, we got to be careful. You don't want to give anybody any reason to let you go. And that's a quick reason to get let go. Let me tell y'all something. On my job, I don't hug nobody. I don't, baby, in my office, I purposely have windows so people can see in because nobody ain't gonna ever say that I touched them. Now everybody can see. Now, you may not be able to hear, but you can see. And that brings up a dilemma because in this day and age of people being really unstable and may not yeah, I I'm a little skeptical of having glass doors. Um, and I don't know because now in the era of people coming back from jobs to get revenge, yeah, I want a door that you can't see me. I'm serious, but I'm gonna say this: in my workplace, I am very very fortunate. You can't get up the elevator unless you have a phone code. You can't get in the doors unless you have a phone code, and so that's a good measure. And so if you walked off the job, they immediately take that code away from you, so you can't get up the elevator or any of those things. You got to have that code. So that's a safety measure. But unless it's bulletproof glass, I don't know. Anyway, the link has been dropped. What's up, Vivian? The link has been dropped. And if you want to come over here and have old nasty piece of chit chat, and you can ask whatever you want to. Now that don't mean I'm gonna answer it, or that don't mean I'm gonna entertain it, but we can at least try to have a conversation. I'm in a good place. God is good. I don't know what's going on with Brian. Baby, the girls say Brian is getting ready to strike my page, girl. They say Brian is getting ready to do some devious and diabolical things. So I don't know, Bill. All I'm gonna tell the people is stay in community guidelines. Girl, do y'all know they've been trying to strike my page for years? For years, baby. They don't want Florida red on. They don't want Florida red on. Let me let Vivian up. Baby, they don't like Florida red. Now ain't it funny? Ain't it funny that one minute you ain't red, but then the next minute they said that Ness, according to somebody came over here, said that I'm bleaching, girl. Bleaching, girl. I don't do no bleach. This is natural. Um, and I guess what's going on is that this is exposed to the sun, but this is covered, and so it is what it is. But one minute I'm dark, the next minute now I'm near white. Baby, these girls can't even settle on a color. They can't even settle on a color, baby. They say I'm zebra. They say I'm zebra over here, Vivian. They say I'm zebra. What's
Well,
up,
hey,
Viv?
hey, good morning, everybody. Bro, Jay, I just came up here to give a PSA. Y'all, I need y'all to be careful. I need y'all to be careful. First off, I would like to ask that each and every one of us keep Sister Patricia in prayer. Amen. As she go through her trying time. Amen.
Yes, yes.
Then I'm gonna ask y'all to keep me in prayer. Bro, Jay, I was in the hospital all day yesterday.
What?
Yes, I've been down for the count all week.
What?
Yes,
You sound like you got bronchitis.
I got the flu.
Oh my God.
I got the flu. I mean, I
Mm.
was in, they thought I had the pneumonia, but it's only the flu. So it ain't
How the
nothing they
black
can
people
do
say
for
the
me.
new morning? Girl, she got new morning. I'm like, what is new morning? Okay, pneumonia. Baby, they say new morning. Okay, but we gonna pray. Now, y'all,
But
Patricia is going through something, so please keep her in prayer. She had death in her family, so please keep her in prayer. Okay?
yes,
Go ahead.
my other thing is, our other couple from up in California, let's keep them in prayer too. You know, our nice couple that we met from California on the trip.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
Let's keep them in prayer too.
Okay.
Cause you
Okay,
know
because
she done had a
they
couple of
just
health scares.
yeah they just emailed me and so yeah, you know, my God.
Yeah, but with y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, please be careful out here with this flu. Make sure y'all keep y'all some lemon, ginger, honey, tea in the house. Make sure y'all keep y'all some water in the house. Make
Get
sure
some
you keep
fisherman
your
friends. Get some fisherman's friends. It will open you up. That
fish in
fisherman's
spread. Okay.
friend, it's gonna open you up, baby. Go ahead, Viv.
And I'm gonna tell you, Jay, this thing, when I tell you that it had me out on my ass for the last couple of days. The only reason I went to the hospital yesterday because my chest was hurting so bad, I thought I was going to die. And my
Wow.
father
They
finally
said and
came
they
to
said
get
it's
me
a
to the
different.
hospital.
They said it's a different strain too.
And
And
this
y'all
is the
be careful.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't know when they give you the COVID and flu at the same time. It's the same test.
Yeah.
It
Be
was
careful out
ridiculous.
there. Be careful. Also, to make sure your children are vaccinated for the measles. Baby, don't be believing what this man say. Do you know we have a lot of kids leaving out of here because of measles? And this should have been eradicated long time ago.
You
So
right
make sure
about
your
that.
children got the measles shot because now they moved to Florida. It was in Texas and now they moved to Florida. And all of the kids, let me tell you something, all the kids who are being unalived from flu and measles are unvaccinated. That's the truth. So be very careful with that, you all.
And
I
this
had
the
my RSV, I had my flu, and my COVID shot.
and this is the funny part. I just went to the doctor like 2 weeks ago. And I asked the
Mm.
doctor, I said, do I need my flu shot? She said, nope, it ain't time for your flu shot. I be
Uh-uh.
damned if my nephew didn't give me the flu came Sunday. Me and him was together Sunday. He said, Auntie, I'm sick. And we was just sitting in the car together.
But you're in close proximity, so he can breathe and you can catch it. You just
Well,
that
I
close
did.
to him.
I
Mm.
did. I caught it. And I feel so bad because hell, he didn't gave it to her. They didn't gave it to everybody in their house.
Well,
Everybody in the house.
well, you want to make sure that you stay away from your father, or at least be masked up so he don't catch you.
Well, I was masked yesterday because he had to take me to the hospital, but I'm gonna be watching him carefully for the next couple of weeks to make sure
My,
he
my,
okay.
my.
But I'm telling you, it beat this thing and beat the hell out of me. But this the funny part. So I go in there and tell him my chest hurt. You know what they told me?
What?
That my coughing strained my muscles.
What?
I just started coughing yesterday.
That's a lot of coughing. Strain muscles.
So I'm just gonna tell y'all that y'all be careful out there. Make sure that y'all are doing whatever y'all can do to make sure that y'all feel better and take care of yourself. And if you can mask up in public, because you don't know what these people got, and you don't know who carriers and who givers.
Yep. And let me say this, you all. With this,
Sorry.
I'm just playing Vivian. I'm playing Vivian, girl. Let me start coughing. With this administration, you don't know. We could really have a lot of people leaving out of here. I don't think that they are honest and transparent enough to let people know. I think we can have a whole epidemic and they wouldn't let nobody know. Because I don't think they want bad news to flow out. I'm serious. I think they suppress bad news. I really do. So I don't trust this administration as far as I can throw them. And that's the honest God truth. So yeah. Y'all look, this is what I'm rocking today. So I'm rocking this bag today. So yes, I got my stuff in the bag today. And I'm rocking my green and gold. Behold the green and gold, Norfolk State University, home of the Spartans and the Spartan Legion Band. Grammy winning Spartan Legion Band. So yes.
And
But Vivian,
Jay,
I hope you feel better. Go
I
ahead.
do. I think I am. You know, after I felt a lot better after they gave me them fluids. You know,
Okay.
they gave me some IV medicine and then they gave me some fluids because I was sick, Jay. I'm talking about laid out in the bathroom floor for about an hour, the dog barking and trying to keep me awake, sick. It
Let
was
me can I, let me
ridiculous.
say something. Let me say something to y'all. Especially the people who done served in the military. Baby, they done shot y'all with everything. Okay? They done shot y'all with everything. And y'all still living. As Gen X, baby, we had to take boosters and every we had to get shot for everything. We had to get shots for everything. And we still here. We have fluoride in the water. That's why our teeth ain't bad. Unless you didn't brush your teeth.
Jay,
Because
what people don't know in the military, when you in the military, that scene where you see people when they walking through a line and they got people with them guns, them booster guns, and they hitting you on both sides. That's true.
yeah,
hmm And the
you
thing
getting
is,
go ahead.
unless you could prove to them you had all of them vaccines, you was getting them all again.
That's right.
And
And
then
nobody ain't died.
ain't nobody died. And guess what? If you was going overseas, you was begging for all of them shots.
You see
Malaria
what
and all of
Catherine
these things.
said? Yeah. Yeah, I had to take a malaria pill before I went to Africa. I mean, I had to take all of that stuff before I went to Africa. And when you go to the
Hey,
Middle
Catherine.
East,
It's a
she
whole
saw it,
lot of
Catherine.
stuff. I mean, listen, they had this thing called a globin. I think that's what they called it, the globin. I used to see grown men scoot down the hallway on their butt because that thing be so thick and they have to go in because you couldn't put it nowhere except in that
In them
butt
cheeks.
muscle.
In them cheeks.
And you see them guys, they be running down the hallway and they be scrambling and and scratching and hurt because because it was so thick. So God knows what was in that.
Hmm.
And that's what
But
they
yes,
was giving the folks that was going to the Middle East. So
yep.
play with it
So
if you want to.
yeah, I'm just saying, you all. Um, yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying that medical science knows everything, but y'all got to realize that these people's work is scrutinized. I mean, you don't get. I mean, they are so strict with certain things. This is why I say do red light therapy. Make sure you do it as directed. But red light therapy works. Dermatologists, they've done scientific proof to say, hey, it works for skin and all of that stuff. Blue light works for acne, but it has been scientifically proven. But it had to go through a lot of tests, and a lot of people scrutinized it. So when these medicines and stuff are coming out, um, they have to go before the board, and it has to be proven.
And
You can't make no claim unless it's been approved by a board of peers, and they don't know who you are. They just take it and look at it and look through your work, and then they do the calculations and stuff as well. And if found to be true, then they'll go with it. If not, yeah, but it's going to be a lot of people who are going
and
to
Jay,
stamp your work. Go ahead.
I don't trust the. Okay, if I'm going to say be serious, I ain't gonna trust the government, especially this government, with nothing anyway. Cause think about it, they done did so many damn experiments on us as black people,
Hmm.
and put us in so many weird ass precarious positions, and didn't even tell us that they was experimenting on us.
They have, but my thing is, you gotta weigh out the pros and the cons
No, but
because
that's what I'm
for
saying. So if they if they tell me not to take if they tell me syphilis on the rise and don't take the syphilis vaccine, I'd be like, oh hell no, I'm going to get a syphilis vaccine because you know what? I remember they gave all them guys syphilis and tried to kill them.
yeah,
You
they've
get
done
what
a
I'm
lot of
saying?
experiments. They have, and this is why you have to look at it. But I know that people weren't getting the COVID shots because of that main reason, and I'm like, look, when I see medical doctors in line and nurses in line to get COVID, and these are scientific, logical, rational thinking people, then I'm like, this must be serious. So I just think you got to be very careful and do the research, but make sure, y'all. Let me tell y'all, make sure you do the research, but make sure the source that you get is a reputable source, not a conspiracy theorist, not a vlog, but a reputable source. And now you better even source the AI, because let me tell you something. AI looks so real now. You better source to see if it's AI, because again, a lot of stuff can be altered because AI is so good now that you may be getting yourself in trouble. So all I'm saying is, even with the onslaught of AI, you got to check to make sure, because yeah, you just don't know these days. And I just think this is why it's important to really search for truth and to look for signs of things that are not true. And that's what I'm saying. Let me give y'all an example too. I am really fascinated with luxury bags, not because I want to own one. I'm interested in it because of Leather Tannerstein. He is a guy who tells you what quality bags are. He looks at the leather, he looks at the hardware, and the hardware is really critical, meaning that, is it made of brass? Is it made of stainless steel? Because he said that, that's going to be the quality. He's looking at, the stitching. Is the stitching good? And da da da. He looks at all of that stuff, right? And it's really funny because the new bag that is right. I think it's a rival to Louis Vuitton is the Goyard bag. And the Goyard bag is really interesting because it has this triangular shape and it's, you know, it's, it's mark is the symbol, not the letters. And it's funny because I was on eBay looking at Goyard bags, and Goyard, they're very meticulous of how they line their stuff up. You know what I'm saying? It has to be lined up right. It can't be off center. And so I was looking at this bag, and when I tell you the bag was tight, but I'm like, something's off, and realized that the patterns weren't lining up, and I'm like, that may be a fraudulent Goya bag, a Goyard bag rather. And so what I'm trying to say is, when you educate yourself, you learn what is real, what is not real, and there are some red flags that really set you off to say that that's not real or that's fake, that's fraudulent. And so I'm saying all of that to say, even with the news, where are you getting your news? You know, and I'm serious. Even in the beef sector, who's the source? And what is their track record of telling the truth? Do they have a track record of embellishing and lying? And you ask yourself that question. And so that's what I'm telling y'all now. So yeah, y'all just make sure you all really consider the source before y'all start taking things as gospel. That's why I say, how you know this? So when somebody tells me something about somebody, I say, well, how do you know this? Who, what, where? And then you make your decision. Okay, Stephen, I see you want to come on like that, though. Is that a bonnet on your head? I know that ain't no bonnet. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure, huh? Because I know Lemon got a do-rag. Ooh, okay, okay.
This is a turban.
Oh, it's a turban. Oh, it's a turban. So you Arabic now. Okay. You Arabic now. Okay.
You know, no, I wouldn't. The bonnets wouldn't. That's not for me though. But no,
hey, Stephen.
What's
it's
up?
Them dreads, though. It's them dreads. It's them locks.
They don't call them dreads anymore. That's
okay. They locks.
It's not politically correct to say dreads anymore.
Okay, they locks.
It's a negative connotation, so it's locks. Yeah.
Okay, educate me.
I thought you already knew my hair was locked.
Because you from Pennsylvania. I don't be looking at you like that. That's Lemon. I don't be looking at you in that manner. That be Lemon. That don't be me. I don't be all up in your face and stuff like that. I don't be all up in your face like that.
He'd be really into it. That's shit's great.
So what's going on, Stephen?
Vivian, I'm sorry to hear that that you're not feeling well. I hope you feel better soon.
Oh, Vivian might be knocked out sleep. But I'll relay the message to her, Stephen.
Okay. But what were you guys talking about? You were saying something about with the healthcare, but that is something that is important in regards to especially like our community, because they have such a tendency to lie to us. I know that they said like when my dad was going through his whole cancer situation, they said he was cancer free, and then another doctor said a week later that he still had cancer. So it's like, which is it? So you get like so much runaround with, you know, some of these doctors, you don't know what to believe. So,
and this is why your health insurance is very important. This is, again, let's go back to education. When you have a damn good career, usually your insurance, not always, but usually you have damn good insurance. Mm-hmm. And when you have damn good insurance, then you can go to good hospitals. And you can go to the Mayo Clinics and the MD Andersons and the Brigham and Children's and those type Lineage in New York. I can name some really good hospitals. Adventist Health in Florida, Loma Linda in California. You can go to those good hospitals. And I always tell people you want to at least get 3 opinions, at least 3 opinions, because again, you want to make sure everything is okay, and you know your body better than anybody else. And so, and with black people, we have to fight because again, sometimes we can be ignored, and you gotta really fight to say, "Hey, I'm not feeling this." But this is why you want to get a good job with good education so you can have some good medical insurance. Girl, that is not Michael Jackson. That
Well,
is first of all, that man ain't bleached his skin.
who
Okay,
bleached
y'all
your
so
skin?
messy.
Wait, who
Y'all
bleached your
messy. Y'all
skin?
messy. Somebody
Are
said
they
is that Michael Jackson.
bleaching-
Stephen do not look like Michael Jackson.
That's what Lemon started that mess. Yeah, Lemon started that mess. If anything, I've gotten I get Prince. I don't really get Michael Jackson, but I do get Prince a
You
lot.
do give me a little Prince. You give me
Yeah,
a little Prince. Ooh,
yeah. I don't get Michael
when
Jackson.
doves cry, baby, you giving me doves cry. All you need to do is get a little nasty bouffant and a little old nasty piece of ruffle right there. You would look like the Prince in the Revolution. Yes, you would.
My favorite color is purple though, so I'm always I'm close to getting there. I'm in the same lane a little bit, so that's my favorite color.
You
You
do
know.
look like Prince. You do look like Prince. You do. You do.
Um,
You do.
yeah, yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
at first I thought it was like an insult, but then I just like, well, I like Prince. I was like, there ain't nothing bad about Prince, and I don't think there's nothing bad about Michael Jackson either. Michael Jackson wasn't a bad looking man when he was black.
When he was black, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, he wasn't a bad looking man.
Baby, when he was black. When he was black. But baby, when he started, you know. But anyway.
Yeah. Uh, but they said that he had this skin vitiligo, and
hmm
it come to find out that he didn't really have that. Like I was seeing something watching something where they said that he didn't even really have that. Like
I
he
didn't
was
believe it. We knew he had that nose and all of that stuff. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it because none of
right,
his brothers had it.
right, and then also not only that, he didn't even want to have black children. So
Ain't that
yeah,
something?
and he left all that money, like what's this, like $1 billion to 3 white children. Like that would none of that was there's a new expression called the Diana Ross effect. Have you heard of that?
Uh-uh.
So basically it's these famous black people, like pretty much celebrities, who made a career for themselves, were successful, and their lineage gets less black as it goes down. Like, so Diana
hmm
Ross likes to do family portraits every year. So all her grandchildren they all look white. Like, there's no presence of any black in any of her grandchildren. So it's
Oh,
called the
that's
Diana
interesting.
Ross effect. Like, there's Diana Ross that's like that. It's Michael Jackson. There's a bunch of them that are like that. They call it the Diana Ross effect. And I was thinking about that. I was like, that is really interesting. Like these, some of these bigger, old school celebrities have really watered down their blackness by, you know, by marrying out. And
And
ain't
the
nothing
sad
wrong
part
with it.
about it,
It is what it
and
is.
the sad part about it is, I look at Diana Ross, I look at Bill Cosby, I look at Nat King Cole, and the old guard black elite never accepted them. Black old guard elite, they do not respect athletes. They do not respect entertainers at all. And the reason why Diana Ross, Bill Cosby couldn't be in the black elite because they grew up in public housing. And so the black elite, even though you got that money and you may have more money than they have, they don't respect you because you didn't get it honest. And they look at that. They look at, and most of the black elite, their family were slaves, and again, they got money from the master, which is sad because the same thing you're talking about with Diana Ross, they did, and they still do. But they pride themselves off of that, and and they do think that doctors, lawyers, educators, engineers, anything like that, that's noble. But anybody who comes out of the music set, anybody who comes through entertainment, yeah. So Nat King Cole was not considered Black old guard, but his wife was. She
Oh
was the
yeah, his
Palmer
wife.
Institute.
Yeah. That's the same with
Yeah,
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's wife is a part of the Black upper echelon. Like she goes
that's
way back.
correct.
Like she's a descendant of Abraham Lincoln. Like
Yeah.
her, yeah, yeah. Because Abraham Lincoln's mother's last name was Hanks, and that's what Bill Cosby's wife's maiden name is Hanks, Camille Hanks. And I think that's how he got
Hmm.
out of a lot of that mess that he was involved with when he got carted off to jail, was because of some of her connections.
Yeah, yeah. Dave Chappelle is part of the elite. People don't understand that.
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
Chappelle's
His parents were
great
very,
granddad,
yeah,
great
yeah.
granddaddy was the president of Allen University, which was the Episcopal African Methodist Episcopalian school, and Chappelle Hall is named after Dave Chappelle's great grandfather. Dave Chappelle's dad was a professor at Antioch College,
Yeah,
and where Coretta Scott King went. And Dave Chappelle's mom was a dean at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio. That's why he lives in Yellow Springs, which is close to Dayton. So
he
Dave
is.
may act like that, but he's part of the elite as well. Go ahead.
But another thing is that a lot of people that are a part of it, they don't be flexing about it either. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't. They try to get away
They're
from it,
silent.
if
Yeah, they're
anything,
silent
or they
about it.
try to really tamp it down.
Lay it
You
down.
know, it's just like I shake my head when I see these people with these Louis Vuitton bags, and I'm like, you are a walking billboard for that company. But
Oh,
what people
I
don't
hate
understand is
that. I hate
that
that.
is exactly for
Tacky.
middle class and poor people,
It is
because
made
the wealthy people,
because they know that they're gonna want to flaunt it and flex it off, and you are a walking billboard for it.
yeah,
Exactly.
and
Like,
the wealthy people don't want it. Now they'll get Louis Vuitton, but they're not going to get Louis Vuitton with the LV. It'll be
for it.
somewhere
Yeah,
that they can't see.
more inconspicuous. Yeah.
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct. Correct. So I just think that you got to look at these things. Now let me say something to you all. See, this is where we get in the problem, and this is where I am torn. I do think black people need to advance themselves with education. I really do think that. But we cannot think that we're better than where we have been, because all of us came over, unless you were indentured servant, all of us came over on that boat. And if you were a person of color, for the most part, unless you came in as an indentured servant, you were slaves. And I just think that we have to uplift each other. I don't think I'm better than anybody, but as a person who came from modest wealth, I'm not going to even say low wealth. My dad was a trucker. The only reason why we stayed in the neighborhood is because my mom felt connected to the people in the neighborhood. And so she didn't want to disrupt that. And we had to start doing something different, because again, when you move in those predominantly white neighborhoods, baby, that's a whole nother can of worms. That's a whole nother
Oh
challenge
yeah,
right there.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And
it ain't.
so we didn't, yeah.
Mm,
So
it's
let me tell you what, my church, I could walk to my church. So everything that I needed was in my neighborhood. Whereas if I moved to the other neighborhood, that would be a long drive to church. It would be, and again, even though my neighborhood was deemed as the hood, my
mm,
mama knew everybody. My daddy knew everybody. So no matter where I went, there was somebody who could call my mama, or there was somebody who would come out their house and say, "Oh, come here," and I would have sense enough to go. Because one thing is, we respected our elders who we knew. And like, and I'm gonna give you an example. When I taught in elementary school and when I taught in high school, I looked after people's kids that I went to school with because I had a relationship with their mama or their daddy. And it was to the point where I could call and say, hey, your boy acting up. You need to check him.
Right.
I can make that phone call. And the daddy would be like, I want you to pull him aside. And I want you to have a stern talking to him. And then I'm going to get him when he can't come home. What my family did to me is what I did for them. And see, we didn't have that situation where you can't talk to my child. But we knew that it was for the betterment of the people. You see what I'm saying? It was for the betterment of the people. Yeah. I didn't want your child to get in trouble. I didn't want your child to go to jail. So I'm going to give you some forewarning, and then I'm going to pull your child aside. Now, I had to talk to somebody's child, and the mama came up, and everybody was kind of nervous. She said, I thought that was you. And, baby, we had a conversation. And it was like, I'm glad it was you because I trust you with my child because we got a relationship. And I know if anybody going to look out for my kid, it's going to be you. And see, this is what we're missing in education. Because when you went to segregated schools, your mama or daddy either went to church with these people, they had went to school with these people. It was some kind of social connection that they had to these people. So there was an interest because I know you. I know your child. I want your child to succeed. And I don't think we have that right now.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's a problem because I found myself doing that. And I think that's what I do now, Stephen, because I don't like that Tommy and Castro situation. I don't hate them, but I just see where it's going to go if they don't stop it. I see where it's going to end. Somebody is going to really hinder their options. I see it. And it's not because you hate them. It's because you better than your situations. You're better than the circumstances that you're putting yourself in.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally understand. But the thing with it is that you do also have to say is it the school's responsibility to raise these kids though too? You know what I'm saying? A lot of parents now are putting a lot of responsibility and expectations on school teachers to raise their kids. And it shouldn't be that way. Like, you know, when kids get home from school, they should still have their parents like looking over their homework and whatnot. And I have a couple friends that are teachers, and they say it's damn near impossible to get some of these students to do any of their homework. So, you know, there's that too. Is that the school can't raise your kids?
They can't. But let me say this, Stephen. Again, as a former elementary and high school teacher, I put it on the parents. If I had a student who started acting out, I immediately called their parents.
Yeah.
I would tell the parents what was going on, and I would put that child on the phone. I would get the phone back, and I would say, look, I can send your child to the office, and they're going to go home for 3 days. And if they go home for 3 days, two things are going to happen. Either you're going to have to take off of work to be with them, or you're going to have to pay for a babysitter to be with them, or run the risk of them being home by themselves. Now, if you can handle this and rectify the situation, I will let you do that. If not, I'm going to send them to the office. I'm just calling you as a courtesy, so I don't have to send them. I said, it's not my desire to have your child to come home for 3 days. And when you talk to a parent like that, usually you get, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to handle it. I had one Caucasian man, when I told him what his daughter was doing, he asked me, so what do you want me to do about it?
Oh.
And I said, I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you what you can do. This is her homework assignment. Da 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 da. Baby, he asked the question. I told because he was trying to get flipping with me. I flipped the script right on back. I'm so glad you asked. This is what you can do. I don't
Right.
play. So again, I think that when you put the responsibility back on the parent and let them know the consequences and what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
let me say this. In my experience, I didn't have a problem with the kids. I didn't even have the problem with the parents. I had a problem with the system because the system was geared towards the test. The system was about paperwork. The system was not about teaching your children. The system was about a status quo so they could look good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Even though your child may not know how to read, as long as we look good on paper. And that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm not lying. Now, I didn't have a problem with disrespectful kids because I didn't play. I set an expectation before you got in my classroom. I wasn't playing with you.
Mm.
I had a boy. I swear that boy done stayed back about 4 or 5 times, and the teachers were scared of him. I ain't scared of you. I'm like, what you say to me? I said, you wanna repeat that?
Now, is there an incentive to like pass the students on, even if they didn't?
I'm glad you brought that up. If you failed the student, they penalized you, and you had to call the parent, which you should, rightfully so. But then you had to tell the people what you gonna do to help that student, and it was always the teacher's fault. It was never any responsibility on the student or the parent. It was always the teacher. And you get tired of that crap. You get tired of the crap. And let me tell you what really bothered me. It's the good teachers that get burned out. Because if you are a teacher who have great classroom management and your class is disciplined, they will send all of the challenging students to your class. Because the teachers who don't know how to handle the challenging students, they'll send them to your class.
Okay, the challenging. If you're a good teacher, they send the challenging kids to your class. Is that
correct? Because you know how to manage it. So you got those teachers who don't know how to manage their class, and you're doing their work and your work, and you get tired of that crap. And then you say, "Well, what the hell you do? Didn't you go to Baylor? They didn't teach you how to handle your class at Baylor University? What the hell?"
Come on, Baylor.
And so you look at that kind of stuff. What do you do? And then you ask the question, how did you get to 9th grade and you don't know how to write or you don't know how to read?
Mm.
I had a problem with parents. I would offer tutorial services, and I would call parents and say, hey, and I was upfront, your child is reading on a 6th grade level, and they're struggling with that. And so I can help them, but they need to come to tutoring on it. Oh, he can't come because he got basketball practice. I'm like, okay, I see what your priorities are. But let me tell you, the system, let me tell you something, you all. Let me tell you what wealthy schools do. The blue ribbon schools, they got bad students, but they will pass your child on to keep that blue ribbon status, but they're hurting your child in the end because your child has a false sense of education. And then when they go apply for colleges, they can't get in because you know why? That school didn't really teach them anything. They just push them along so they can get them out and keep their blue ribbon status.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being real with you all. I hate to say it, unless I know that school district, I would put my child in a private school. Because when I'm paying for it, I'm still paying for it with taxes. My taxes still pay for it. But when I pay,
I would say I had my I was telling a story and I might have related wrong, but I was telling a story about like what my dad had said something about certain school districts, and certain school districts just so happen to be failing. And it wasn't a matter of race, it's just the fact that, some of the public schools, that's just the way it was, unfortunately. But that's why he made it, it was very important for him to send us to like a private school, like going forward. And there is a difference between like private school versus public school. Like there's more attention, there's less students per teacher, that
Correct.
ratio.
That's the biggest thing right there. How you
And
gonna have 40 students in your class if you got 7 behavior problems? Then you done missed it. And let me tell you something. I'm serious. I have seen classes with 1 teacher and 35 students. That's nearly impossible.
that's crazy.
I'm
The,
being real with you all.
the biggest class I've ever had was 15 students. That's the biggest
Okay.
class I had. Yeah, that's
Okay. And you know your teacher's gonna be able to give you more incentive.
oh.
Let me say this too.
Mhm.
Special ed kids need to be integrated in classes like music and less challenging classes. But when it comes to English, mathematics, and science, those kids need to be in smaller, specialized classes. You do special ed kids a disservice trying to integrate them in those classes. They do need to be integrated, but not in those classes. Those classes where they're going to be tested, they need to be in smaller, specialized classes. And also, parents, if you have a special ed student, you better use those accommodations, because those accommodations will be it will be the difference between your child passing or failing. And I've seen a lot of students who could have passed tests didn't, because they were so distracted in larger classes. I'm being real on that. I'm serious. And y'all, I'm telling you, this is why I tell people, you can say what you want about me. I'm serious about this. I have been in the trenches in front line with our student. And the sad part about it is you start feeling helpless because the system don't give a damn about these students. And the teachers can't teach. We busy doing paperwork and charts and heat lamps and all of this stuff. And we are really not teaching your kids. We're really doing paperwork and pushing paperwork to make it look good. And we're really not teaching the kids.
Right.
Hey, Miss O, what's going on?
Oh, hey, I just wanted to come. I have seen though in some, because my aunt used to do inclusion-based classrooms, and just for me doing my Title I positions in schools and with social work, I've seen inclusion though help, because I've seen it help typical students, because the adaptations that you have to do for special education students, some of those adaptations should just be general adaptations, because I saw actually typical learning students getting more help and guidance from the inclusion teacher more so than the other, because the way she broke it down for those students. But I believe it should be a level of special education students that should be in the inclusion classroom, because there are some high functioning people that could benefit from an inclusion based
And I agree
classroom.
with you. I have a student right now. The only thing that is special about them is their physical challenge. Nothing wrong. They are intelligent. They can write code right now. But unfortunately, a lot of
Oh,
students that I see in special ed right now, when I was teaching, they were behavior and they really had a learning disability. And so I think those students, I think they should be integrated in certain classes. But when it comes to their math, their science, the stuff that they're going to be tested on, oh, they need to be in a smaller class. Like Stephen said, you don't need to be in no class of 40. Who gonna benefit and who's gonna suffer when you're in a class of 40 students? Who's gonna suffer?
Oh, Jay Wilson, I'm so glad you said that, because I have a question for you. One thing I have been debating with, and I was going to talk to you about it anyway, is that, from I just think the private school money is more safe for college. I'd rather invest my money in college. But also I've been torn with the whole virtual option, even though through the regular schools. But you have everybody telling you they're gonna get no socialization. They're gonna get this. I'm saying the problem is it's too much socialization. They don't need to be around them no good ass kids anyway. And I'm like, I think you can get that in other ways because with the 40 in the classroom, with the violence, with they can't do nothing. You can't do nothing to them. With the parents coming up there acting a fool, what is she really missing if we do the virtual school route? Because socialization can be had in many ways.
Let me say this. There's a school in Austin right now. It's called the Alpha Academy. First of all, this school is $45,000 a year. But with the Alpha Academy, their math, their science, all of that is done by AI. And they have guides, not teachers, but guides. The guides make sure that they stay on task. The guides make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do in class. Then they have entrepreneurship, public speaking, team building, all of that stuff. I'm seeing sixth graders run Airbnbs for business, and that's how they get their socialization. Now, a lot of people like, I don't know about that, but their kids are in the top 90 percentile, and all of them have either gone to a state Ivy, like your Texas A&M, University of Texas, or they get accepted in schools like Rice and your Ivy League schools. So again, I'm seeing that, but do you have $45,000 a year? And these kids are not behavior issues. So I think that it's a lot of things, you all.
But you don't
Well,
have
they're
to send
pushing
your
the
kids to
voucher
just
so
public
much
school,
now.
private schools though either. There are some good public school districts that are out there though.
There
Yeah.
are, but let me tell you something. Even with the good public school districts, you just can't depend on it being a good district. If you're a parent, you better go to the school and get word on who's a good instructor. You need to specialize every instructor and scrutinize that because you want your kids in the instructor's class that has a good reputation. It's almost like college. You can either go to the easy teacher and don't learn nothing, or go to that hard teacher that nobody don't like, but they're gonna really teach you life skills. Because if you go the easy route, you may think you're getting by at the beginning, but in the end, you just cheated yourself. So I
Hmm.
think that you have to even look at it in that sense, in those school districts. You know what I'm saying? Because we got good school districts in San Antonio, but even with that, your kid can still be in a good district and get a sucky teacher.
But what about the zip code thing though? Well, it's a district thing, but it's also a
I mean,
school thing. Like Stephen, like what I'm trying to say is the problem that I try to tell people: every child can't live in that zip code. Like every parent can't afford a house. I've had people in my hometown who have literally got an apartment, even though they own a home in a certain zip code. They have gotten a temporary apartments, paid money just to send them because it's cheaper to do that than pay for the private school. Because every child can't say the zip code is a 90210. Every child can't live in 90210, so then the children in 90209 don't have the same thing. It's literally not enough landscape nor enough income for people to live all in this same zip code to go to the better
Yeah.
schools. That's the problem.
That
and let me
is
say
true.
this: charter schools are not. Can I say this too? Do not be fooled by school of choice. No, it's not a school of choice because the good private schools, first of all, parent involvement is critical. And if you can't
Right.
be involved, you ain't going. And if your child is a behavior issue, they ain't gonna get accepted. And some of the parents say if you got a good child and all of this stuff, can you still afford them uniforms? Because everybody can't afford them uniforms and all of that stuff that it takes
Talk
to go to
about the
those schools
trips. They go on trips. You
and
need
the
to give
trips and
tuition
all of that.
vouchers.
So my thing is what happens is you get sent to a low performing charter school that don't care nothing about you except the money. When somebody auntie cook
Mhm.
chicken at the church and they feel like they are nutritionists. Charter schools get away with stuff that you would not believe. Their
Right.
teachers don't have to be certified. They don't have to be certified at all even at public charter schools. So you have to watch that. And most of the public charter schools are doing no better than the public schools. And what happens is you take that money out of public schools, and guess what happened? That child has to come right back to the same school that they left because they can't even cut it at the charter school. So again, the bottom line is I think Stephen hit the nail on the head. Smaller classes, more teacher interaction and more teacher training. Only in the well, I shouldn't say only in the United States, but for industrialized countries rather, do you not know it is a honor and a privilege to teach schools in Asian countries, and they treat their teachers like engineers, like doctors, and they pay them well. And it is very competitive to get into a teaching education field. In the United States, we
Mhm.
treat teachers like dirt, and we pay them like dirt. I mean, I'm
I
being
know.
real.
I know for a year after, no, it's not full fledged teaching, but like a year after I got out of college, I did the TEFL certification where you teach English as a foreign language, and
Mhm.
the Asian countries they paid the best
They do
for their teachers, like their English teachers, they paid the very best. I don't know why that was, if it's in demand
because
over
they
there.
value education.
Yeah,
And maybe they're trying to push their people up. Where in the United States, we're trying to make people dumb so we can control them. That's how I see it. And this is why education to me is so critical, because I think they're dumbing down a lot of the curriculum. Do you not know in Texas to pass the STAR test? Okay, a 48, a 48 is passing. You can graduate with a 48 on the STAR test in Texas. It's
Dang.
called approaching. Approaching, and then they have masters, meets, and approaching. So I don't know what approaching means. I guess you get into it, but you ain't quite there. But my thing is a D, first of all, a 70, let me see, passing was 70 to 75.
yeah,
Um, Anything below 69, which is
eh,
a D, was failing.
right,
And in college, if you made a D, you passed the class if it wasn't a major class, but you couldn't transfer the credits.
right.
So you're telling me that a 48, which is way below a 50, is passing,
That's an
but they
F.
have lowered the standard. It's an F, but they're calling it approaches. Are you serious? What are you approaching? Failure?
Mm, it's really sad.
So D Miss O, this is why we have these problems. And again, I will give San Antonio their props. San Antonio does have the essay program for they provide pre-K essay. So they're trying to teach their kids and give them education before they get into kindergarten. So they call it pre-K SA, and they have certified educators to help these kids get ready for elementary school and beyond. So they're actually investing money in their people, which I think is great.
And they gotta
But
have
everybody's not doing it.
scholarships before they reach kindergarten too, because a lot of times when you go to pre-K, you already know how to do your ABCs and you already know how to start counting. So,
You
you
should see what some of
gotta
these kindergarten teachers are dumped with, though. The ones who parents skip that whole. It's a shame. These kids come in there and they can't even hardly talk. They have to do so much in that first year. It is ridiculous that
It
people drop
is.
the ball.
Mhm.
I don't think people
And
understand that.
listen, and the biggest ones that, because, even if you go to a private school, you still have people that, because you can get grant money to go to private schools, right? You can
Hmm.
money. So there's all different types of people that be in private school. You don't just have to be a rich person to go to a private school. All different types of people can go to private school. It just depends on if that's something that you want. But the ones that I noticed that have been pushed along, um, and they have problems at home, they come out to be the biggest bullies and go around terrorizing the other students. So when you have big class sizes like that, there's a lot of bullying that goes along in some of those classrooms, and it's hard to focus on, what the topic and what the subject is, because you got a lot of bullying that goes on in them schools because you're passing some of them badass kids along. Um,
Well, and the thing is, and kids are not bad. It's what they get away with. And my thing is, when you have a class of
yeah,
40, then you can't do too much. I mean, what do you expect the teachers to do? I mean, they can only do so much with these big
well, it's
classes.
just
And
raise some kids. Yeah, it's not the school's job to raise them. It starts.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta realize that we have a big problem, and and the problem is class sizes, teachers pay,
Overcrowd.
and also making education serious. Asian people do not play. I mean, when I tell you to get into their education programs, it's like getting into an engineer program because again, they know that what their learning is going to affect how the country is going to be. And so they want people who are capable and qualified. AI is not going to take everybody's job because even though AI is doing a lot, AI can only do so much. And I don't think people realize AI can only do so much. You still got to have humans, and then a lot of things too that's going on. Like we had friends. My mom and dad told me to go outside and play. So when I finish my homework, I go outside and play. We
Right.
learn how to work with each other. These kids, all they do is play games,
Video games. Yep.
and they're very socially awkward, and so you see that as well.
You see that on here, even in the sector. There's
Oh
some.
my God, yes, you do. So I just think that this is what's going on pretty much in society overall. So I just think that I think we just need to be aware of those things and deal with it accordingly. But yeah, and like I said, I taught. But when you have school districts just passing your kid along so they can look good on paper, then that's going to be a problem. And I think that's the big problem. So, D Miss O, have you seen this in your line of work? Because I know you were a social worker at once, and Stephen, you said you taught. So, how do y'all feel about it?
We getting in Tennessee. What we getting is the stampede to the voucher program, and in public school system here is losing kids, and you know what that means? They losing dollars. So, but the problem is the middle class people who think they're middle class aren't middle class. Like middle class is not
Not
what
me.
people don't realize what it is anymore. And you may think that voucher is the answer, but when you look like you mentioned them trips, when you going with people who play with the big dogs, they want to go. It's a requirement. All the eighth graders, baby, they going to Italy. I don't care what you say. So you got to get that money. You got to have a MacBook. You got to have this. You got to have that. And the voucher is not accommodating all of that. And people are seeing that now. So I think it's going to be a run back to the public school system because it's like that voucher is not covering what everybody thinking. It's not solving anything because they're not putting in the public schools. Actually, they're not doing anything more because they're losing students. Per student is head is money per head.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
is there a big shift towards online schooling versus
Yeah, virtual. That's what I was telling him about. Considering that for my daughter, for
Well,
yeah,
instance,
some
he said
parents don't like that though because again,
like that?
you have to be
their
able to
kids
watch
can
them. Yeah.
their kids can click off. They're clear. A
Hmm.
lot of the kids,
That's it. Yes, they can cheat.
yeah, a lot of kids were behind during COVID because they were just clicking off. And so I think that's a big thing. And also, too, let me say this to you all too. Just because you go to a good district, I was bused to a predominantly white school, even though I lived in the hood. Now, I do thank God for my education because I got some good stuff at that school, right? But let me tell you the downside of it. I could never be a safety patrol. I could not play sports unless I was very, very good at that sport because, again, you had to catch the bus back home. And that was a way of keeping us from certain things as well. Y'all understand that? So I couldn't be a high school, I couldn't be a patrol, I couldn't do anything like that. Any extracurricular activities, unless I had already arranged for somebody to come pick me up or do that, I couldn't be that. And that's the disadvantage because you got to catch the bus and you got to get back. So the only thing that I want you to do is get your education and go home. I don't want you to participate in anything unless you are exceptional. If you're not exceptional, then you need to go home. And a lot of people don't look at it that way too. So busing kids is not always the best because again, you hinder them into extracurricular activities. Your thoughts on that?
Was that the time right after segregation when they were trying to integrate the school? Is that time period, Jay
Uh-huh.
Wolfie?
Yeah, I started going to school. So I was born in 1970. So that happened in 1975. Yeah, 1975. I was getting bused. I passed two elementary schools to go to the elementary school that I went to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Miss
my
O and Stephen, y'all talk. I got to go to the cash register. Keep on talking.
Yeah, because my mom went to a segregated school, but then like my younger aunts, they went to an integrated school, and I know that they were bused to other schools that were further away. So I mean, yeah, that's crazy. That whole busing situation. Like black people have been through a lot in this country. It's crazy.
Right, but a lot of our kids now have lost their grit because these kids don't even have. I mean, they privileged. My daughter has not even had to catch a school bus. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
unlike
But
other than
that's
them having to do
unfortunately
two.
that's not the norm though, DMSO. I mean, listen, when I went to the grocery like if I went to the grocery store the other day and I seen a black mother um and it could be any mother. I mean, I'm not just saying it, but I see it a lot with us and how we talk to our children, cussing them the hell out like they're in the beef sector. Like the little boy was like 5 years old, and she was telling him, "Get the fuck in the motherfucking." I'm like, "Why are
Oh
you talking
God.
to that your son like that?" And then you expect them to grow up and not have any type of behavioral issues. They're gonna grow up and end up in the beef sector. Like
Voila.
it was just so sad though. Like I mean, like I just feel like that's so unfortunate. Like just like a lot of these kids are not raised with love, and it's so sad that it's like that. So
Right, and I know everybody don't have that privilege. You have to go to your zone schools. You have to catch the bus. But
yeah,
some of these kids are, they don't even want to get them catch the bus so tired. I just had to do so much, and I was so disciplined. Like I had to get my own stuff up. My mom was going to work, and had to be on that bus stop. Make sure my brother was up to get on his. 20 minutes later, they don't have a lot, are not late to do anything, and you got a lot of parents that are too busy trying to be friends and coming up arguing with the teacher as well. So you got the student beating up on the teacher, and you got the parent beating up on them.
wait, now did your daughter go to public school before
Magnet, yeah, she's always been
okay,
through magnet public
was it
schools though.
did they have buses or
Yeah, no, magnet school don't have. See, that's the thing. If you get in the lottery and you get the magnet school, and they can make it in. You
yeah,
on your own, buddy, with transportation.
right, yeah, yeah, that's a
And a
whole
lot of
nother
people don't have that, so their kids do deserve better. But if you don't have a car, what you gonna do?
you don't
And if you
have
got to
a
go to
car,
work, you can't be on
gotta
the
go to
bus with
work and
them.
don't have the time to
Right,
do the commute and what that's a lot, yeah.
right. So your child end up with a subpar education just by lack of means, which is something I'm passionate about. It's not fair. Like I was telling you, everybody can't
Mhm.
live in that zip code.
And I'm still at the register, but I want to just chime in. And you want your child to have a comprehensive education. If they want to be in music theater, or if they want to do soccer, you want them to do that. They can't do that when they're bused. And I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. So, if you're not willing to sacrifice and or have somebody, you might want to think about those schools. I think what we should do is try to make our public schools better. That's what we should do. And like Stephen said, get smaller classroom sizes and pay these teachers. We can pay the administrators. I know administrators making a whole lot of cash, but then you don't want to pay your teachers. And we're the only country that pays our teachers dirt. And these people don't understand that your teachers are going to help you to get where you need to be. And until we start paying our teachers and really require some good training and lower these class sizes, we're going to continue to have the problems that we have.
I think they should offer some parenting classes too. Well, that's just me.
That's why it's
Hey,
good when you
y'all,
have
I'm
a
at the
tough
register,
truancy
so keep on
drug in
going.
your area. Like you, juvenile court ain't playing with some of these people in certain areas, and that's what you're gonna have to end up doing. Like when they don't want to go, don't want to make them do anything, you gonna haul their ass in there too. There's a judge in Atlanta when I used to do social work. He was notorious for the truancy issues and the parents who acted like they was the friends. They want to do nothing. You was gonna have your ass right there at school at 7:50 with them, and you was not gonna leave until 3:10 because it was coming in going out the door. So is your monster? You gonna deal with it and holding them in contempt if they didn't. So
How
sometimes
much
it takes
school
a
do they
hard
have to
line.
miss before that starts becoming a problem?
It depends on the district. That's the thing, and it depends, and it doesn't even depend on the district. And I know this firsthand from doing these jobs. It doesn't only depend on the district. Sometimes it's school by school. One school will let you go 5 days, boom, you get a truancy letter. Another school be 15 days and they ain't sending out ish. It's the uniformity is the problem too, and there are certain districts that are tougher on truancy court. And I understand what it is. You don't want parents to lose their job and things like that, but something has to happen because if you don't want to parent them and you don't want to make sure they go to school, then don't have them. I know people might not
They
get their
thinking that
rocks off about that, but I'm sorry. Close your legs.
they ain't thinking about that, unfortunately.
Shit. It's
That's
people
a
that
happy
sick.
foresight. Like that's why a lot of people like me and my there's just five of us, like with me and my siblings included. But me and all my siblings only have like one child each. But we didn't have very many children because it's expensive to have children now. So I mean that's a conscious effort that you have to make. Understand you can't be
Hi, how are
having
you?
kids anymore if you can't
I'm
afford
gonna
them.
also get 3 bags of ice, please.
Coming right up.
Everybody's having Super Bowl parties. I got wrapped up into that.
Oh, is that this weekend?
The drinks and the ice is the cheapest thing, so I said I'll go ahead and do that.
Who's in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
The
and
Patriots, and
I'm
I
I'm from
forgot the
Florida,
other
so
one.
none of my teams are in, so I don't really care right now. So. Eat. I'm just gonna eat. That's all. It is. Thank you so
Tab,
much.
who is
You
the
have a
other
good one.
team? The who, babe?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go
Seattle.
get
Oh
my
yeah,
ice.
Seattle versus the Patriots, definitely.
All right. Enjoy your weekend.
Russell Wilson and
Okay, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm
Trayvon
all
Diggs.
on here. I'm talking
Sierra's,
all loud.
Sierra's husband?
Sierra's husband and Cardi B's baby father gonna be playing head to head.
Are Sierra supposed to be? They're supposed to be having another child.
She is.
How many?
Oh. It's so funny that y'all mentioned Sierra. Do you not know that her husband, Russell Wilson, is old money? That's old money too. His
Oh, I can tell
grand
his people got money.
his
Yeah.
great granddaddy, Harrison B. Wilson, was the president of Norfolk State University when I was there.
Mm.
Almost, let me tell you, light as can be.
Yeah, you
Um,
can tell his family what I call carved out of cream cheese. They came from some little influence. You can
yeah,
tell.
big money, big money. So his great granddaddy, or what's his? No, it's his granddaddy. It wasn't his great granddaddy. It's his granddaddy. His granddaddy was the president of Norfolk State University. He was one of the longest presidents. His great granddaddy actually graduated from Kentucky State, and and they're from South Carolina. They got people from South Carolina, and yeah. So I said that. So yeah, Russell Wilson.
I did
Now I
not.
don't know where Sierra came from, but Russell Wilson is definitely an old school money. Hey, how you doing? Good. Definitely old school money. Okay, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm leaving this HEB.
A
They're
lot of those
having a super.
marry each other though. Those people that are from upper echelon families, they marry each other. You know,
But it's Sierra. Well, anyway,
that's
they
I
Yeah,
don't
she
think
got
that's
money
about her
after. Nah,
background.
she's from straight up Decatur, Georgia, baby. She got. I
I
guess
don't
she had
think
money
she's
when she
hood
came
hood
here.
though. I don't think she's hood
Yeah.
hood though. I don't think
No,
she.
okay.
she's not. But she's still from Decatur.
I don't know anything about Georgia, so
And them old school families are very serious about who you marry because again, it's all about what do you have, what do we have, and
oh
can we put it together? It's
yeah,
not about love. It's about business. It's about business too. Them
oh yeah,
Jack and Jills and them debutante balls and
oh yeah.
Boca
The Jack and Jill
Cotillion.
Yeah, my sister was in that.
Yeah, all of that is to make sure that people get hooked up with the right folk. Don't get it twisted.
Yep,
It's to help
Hey, I
us to
couldn't stand the
advance.
idea of Jack
it's
and Jill.
networking.
Uh,
I didn't. That Jack and Jill thing just didn't never appeal to me. It doesn't still now.
but
But maybe it's probably
it's
because
a,
I wasn't sorority minded.
and let me tell you something. I'm not fraternal. I don't do the fraternity because again, it's about we we want to be individuals, but yet we start getting back to groupthink again. And I saw people like one of my friends. I just saw how people change so drastically. So I had a friend, and he wound up being A Phi A, which is Alpha Phi Alpha. And when I tell you he changed like a drop of a dime, and he was talking about he was a genius because he was an alpha. And I'm not mad at that because they really push, self esteem, right? But then I had to push back on him, and I'm like, well, genius, you're not a part of Alpha Kappa Mu. That's the honor society. I ain't never seen you at none of those meetings. So I said, so I'm a part of Alpha Kappa Mu and in the honor society. But it was just they started. It was almost like groupthink, and like school days. I think Spike Lee did an excellent job of showing how these people think. And I look at that and I'm like, every job, every career that I got, it was because, you know, I got it. I didn't have any connection. And one thing I learned about those Greeks, and I don't have anything bad to say about them because I know they do good philanthropy work, but I noticed that every time somebody has a connection and they get a job, the person who got them the job always want to remind them that, hey, I got you this job. And I don't want to be on, I don't want to owe nobody like that. It's like you never stop pledging. You never stop. Even though you get over, it's almost like you never stop pledging. So I'm like, and then you pay people all that money. And I'm like, I'm not paying you all, I'm not paying all of that money to be a part of something. And it just never appealed to me. So it is what it is. Y'all thoughts? Go ahead.
I mean, they bringing it to the beef sector too, which is why it's like that too. It's that same minded, and it's the same people. A lot of people that are keeping up, like they are all in different fraternities. Brothers, they bringing that same mentality and that group think and stuff to the beef sector. It's designed the same way. And I come from, somebody who's real up in their organization and things like that. But and I consider it myself. I've been offered two. I mean, I could have done either one or two different things, but they bringing that here too, and I don't like that. I'm different. Like I'm a problem child. I can't just go along with what you say because we all pay the same dues.
Yeah, I don't, let me say this, you all. Um, I never had a desire because to me it was like church stuff again. It was like another form of control, and you're gonna break me down so I can be what you want me to be and not really be myself. And I had issues with that. That's why like the Masons and the Elks, those kind of clubs never appealed to me. And everything that I did came from church. And now even with churches, I'm like, well, I don't even know about, it depends on who. That's all I'm going to say. It depends on who. But I'm skeptical of everything now. I ask questions about everything because a lot of stuff is about control. Can I control you? Can I influence you? And I don't have a problem with, you know, being in a movement and we have the same views on certain things, but that gives no right for somebody to try to control. And I think a lot of it is about control. But it goes back to the education again. Even with education, education doesn't help you to go through them life lessons. Some of them life lessons you're gonna have to learn on your own. And I don't care how many books you crack, it ain't gonna help you. So I applaud those people who can see and foreshadow what's gonna happen and what's gonna go on because education can only do so much. So I don't want everybody to think that, oh, I depend so much on education. I know education opens doors. I know it gives you options. I know that it helps you think critically, but it doesn't do everything.
Right. But yeah, I mean, and it's other ways to be active in your community as well too. They always say it's the philanthropy part of it, but you can do it's a lot of opportunities for
You can do
philanthropy.
that through your church. Somebody asked, believe it or not, in San Antonio has a lot of grad chapters. So like the Alphas have their own house, the Kappas have their own house, and the Omegas have their own house. And I mean, I'm talking about they have their community house. You can see the Greek letters on it. I think AKAs and the Delta has their house in San Antonio as well. And in San Antonio, they have a lot of people who get into fraternities and sororities through the grad chapter. But then I look at how much people pay to get in that grad chapter, and they're almost like servants. So if the grad chapter has a party, you got to dump the garbage. You got to be there to serve, just to be a part of that organization. I'm like, why am I paying money to be taking out the trash? Why am I paying money to do, and I'm like, that don't appeal to me. And I was telling somebody, if I'm not a part of it, then I'm not supposed to be a part of it. I wasn't interested in it in my undergrad, and I'm definitely not interested in it in my grad. And to me, it's almost the same thing, except you're grown in doing that. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm not mad at people who are in fraternities and sororities, but I went to school in Miami, and a friend of mine was pledging Alpha, and they broke his back. And they tried to buy
Oh
him
my
off with a back
God.
break. Yes, they did. He was walking all kind of crazy, and he was in tears. Now, this is the bad part about it, y'all. Now, I'm going to give y'all this, and this is make it really bad. One of our best friends was the dean of pledges at the time, and he knew exactly what was going on. But because that organization was more important to him than his best friend, he said nothing. It got to the point where my pastor was saying, let us know what happened. Because my pastor was livid, right? And he was an HBCU grad, went to Tuskegee University, and that boy died of his injuries. But do you not know they gave him his shirt, but they treated him like a dog? Now, they injured him. But yet they treated him like he did something. And then for a best friend to just betray him like that, oh, that did something to me. I saw too many people get beat. I saw too many people get hurt. And maybe it's the era that I grew up in, because I grew up in the 80s. I went to college in 1988. So that was the height of people getting their ass whipped. And that never appealed to me. And it turned me off. When I saw a best friend turn on his friend, I knew that that was not what I wanted to do. And that really turned me off. The other thing was, I had a friend who's no longer with us as well. I hid this joker. I made sure that joker had food. They wouldn't even let this joker take a bath. Do you hear me? They didn't even let him take a bath. As
Oh my
soon as he
God.
crossed over, baby, he wouldn't even speak. And one day I pulled him aside. I said, you know what? I said, if this is what this do to you, then I don't want no part of this. And while they were whooping your ass and wouldn't allow you to take no bath, I made sure your dumb ass ate and had a shower, because I had a private room, to make sure you had a shower while they were beating your ass. And you should, and the thing that bothered me was I was helping and supporting him get through that process. And baby gave me his ass to kiss. I'm like, I'm done. I said, I'm done. So again, I have my reasons, and everybody is not because you couldn't get in, or no. I saw what they did to people. I saw how they brainwashed some people, and I'm not saying all fraternities. I'm just telling you all my experience, and your experience may be different. But what I saw in Virginia and what I saw in Miami, Florida, it just turned me off. And we still have these people in these fraternities losing their life because of these people hazing and beating their ass. Go ahead, Demus.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
can't.
go on mute real quickly.
I just don't understand the mentality of, yeah, I'm supposed to embrace you as my brothers and sisters if you've been whooping my ass, making me sleep with cues and all types of other dementing shit that they would do to each other. And the women ain't no better. But then I'm supposed to stand by you and depend on you for life because you my line. That whole little thing is just like, I don't know, it's almost like emulating what was done to us. I'm gonna whoop you into submission type situation. But everybody didn't go through that. But a lot of the old guard, had to experience similar things like that. And I just don't understand that. And I'm supposed to pop right back after they done been jumped in. They supposed to pop right back up into that's that gang mentality too. I'm supposed to be right back up and respecting you and living and dying for the frat after you done tormented me and about killed me. That shit is crazy reverse psychology to me. But I guess why everyone, doesn't need to join. What you mean a big TV meme passed away? Y'all got confirmation. Y'all can't just be saying that, Lord, what a pastor at. Don't not start that, y'all. I'm not serious. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait. Where did we get the confirmation? I know Snoop been looking for him. What? Breaking news. Oh, damn. A heart attack? You say most likely. Y'all just saying it because of his weight, but I mean, yeah. I mean, when you that. No, I don't want to hear that. Oh my God. Oh, damn. I did not want to hear that. Y'all, I'm sorry. I just.
Well, look, y'all, I'm at work. So, Demus,
Did you
I'm
hear
getting
that,
ready to log
Pastor?
off, but I appreciate
Did
it.
you hear
I
that?
really enjoy this conversation. It's more than just beef sector stuff, but it's stuff that people need to know. We talked about education, we talked about all of that stuff. So, thank
Pastor,
you
did you
all
hear
for
about
coming
Big
on.
Man?
Huh?
They say Big Man passed.
Ooh, big man died?
That's what they just said. They
But
said it
somebody
all in
just
the
said
chat.
that they talked to Big Man. Max Boogie said she just talked to Big Man, and she just said pray for him. So y'all telling me that Big Man done passed away? I know y'all lying to
Wait,
me.
y'all send it in the chat. Get TV always goes out there. This last one's a month. Blah blah
Oh
blah.
my God. Okay, y'all. Well, look, if he did, we'll come back. But I know I hadn't
Okay.
seen
I'm
him.
gonna go look it up, Pastor. I'm gonna make
Look
sure
it up
too.
and we'll come back. But look, y'all, I gotta go. Peace
Okay,
and love. I'll
bye.
talk to y'all later.